bleed some of that speed off.
This is Jonathan's 1963 Cessna 150, and boy is it fun. Outfitted with a STOL kit and some nifty avionics, I've really had a blast riding along on this episode. It's one of those airplanes that just really has a presence on the ramp. I always like flying in them. Let's get into it.
Good morning, my name is Jonathan. This is my blue and white Cessna 150, 1963. It's a Model C. I'm a pretty recent pilot. I have about 220 hours. I started flying in March of this year. I decided instead of renting aircraft that my best bet would be find a nice trainer aircraft such as Alice. Alice has been flying me everywhere around the country. I picked her up in Nebraska around July so I could fly across the country during July 4th. And it was a wonderful flight. She's been, so far we put about 100 hours on the bird. And hopefully she'll fly me to the moon, another 200,000 miles to go. This particular 1963 Cessna 150C, I'm the third owner. It came out of Nebraska. The gentleman before me used it as a trainer. It has about 2,000 hours on it, which is not very much for an aircraft. So it sat a lot and was not used very much in Nebraska, and I was able to find it as basically a barn find. Power plant's a Continental 200A, 100 horsepower, and she'll produce basically 100 horsepower. We can cruise around 90 to 100 miles an hour. This is a fastback model, so it is a little faster than the usual Cessna 150s. Fuel capacity of this Cessna 150 is approximately 23.5 gallons. We have about 20 gallons of useful. I have roughly 480 pounds for useful load, so I can get about 400 miles. I tend to fly about 2.5 hours, 3 hours before I have to stop and use the restroom, but otherwise this plane will get you anywhere across the country. Useful load on this aircraft is 480 pounds, so minus my fuel, I pretty much can fly a passenger that's about 150 pounds, including myself. I am a large guy for a Cessna 150, however, it's a beautiful plane to fly just on your own. I initially bought this aircraft so that I could fly it as a trainer and build my time. I'm working my way toward my commercial certificate, and while doing so, I also live in Texas, so I transfer and travel back and forth from upstate New York to Texas. I'll be doing that journey around Christmas time, and then I'll do my flying down in the Midwest of the country in Texas.
All right, Jonathan, you ready to go fly?
So there's a lot of editing involved, huh? Yes, ma'am.
Let's do it.
Clear prop.
And she starts right up.
Radio check.
Loud and clear. So of all the airplanes that you could have chosen as an airplane that you'd buy, why did you choose the 150?
Seems like the Cessna 150, I think the safety factor.
Oh.
Safety factor and the amount of airplanes that were reduced, which allows me to find plenty of parts and maintenance anywhere.
Well, and they've been around so long.
Exactly. I had a Cub, and that Cub, according to Piper, was the bastard child of all the Cubs, which is a J4. So that was very difficult to find parts on and to find anyone, because it's a dying breed of people that are doing fabric work and working on the older craft. And it wasn't ideal for a new student as myself. I know I'm racking up some hours and stuff, but I still consider my fresh, or according to my reading, I'm in the killing zone, so I have another 500 to go.
Yeah.
Full Ulster County, Cessna 78040, blue and white Cessna is holding short at Alpha for runway 15. Just going a quick run up here. Full throttle, 1700 RPMs. Carb check, good on the drop. Mag check. Do an idle check. Running good for an old bird. She's only got 500 hours since the overhaul. Set for takeoff, gumps, gas on, undercarriage, mixture rich, and throttle set. Looking for traffic, we have no one in our final for 115. Ulster County traffic, blue and white Cessna is taking 15 for a straight out departure, Ulster. Anything you see or don't like, please by all means speak.
Sure. Looks great to me.
This is a neat little airport for sure.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Take off of the highway, I'm sure. People going to work in the morning are like, what is that?
Yeah.
And set for takeoff, gumps check, excellent. Full throttle, feet are on the brakes. And we're off. Speed's alive. Gauges are in the green. A little bit of a crosswind. A little bit of a crosswind. And 60, we're going to rotate. Look for 80, we're a little fast, but I'll take a little speed. Beautiful day.
It's nice and chilly out. She's performing great.
Yes, what a difference that is with all the flying during the summer, and then come out here in the winter, and all of a sudden she just screams to the sky.
Yeah, if you want to go over to Rhinebeck, we can fly over.
I would love to. I haven't been able to legally, so
well, let's
without
do it.
calling ahead time.
We'll just fly over. We won't land there,
Yeah,
but we'll circle over there. Get you a feel for what the field looks like.
And then we had the new avionics, the AV30s put in, so that kind of started throwing me off on.
Yeah.
Plus, it looks like they put in kilometers instead of miles per hour at first, so we had some adjustments to make.
I like those little boxes though. They're real nice. They got a lot of information right there, but it's not overwhelming. I get overwhelmed with like a lot of glass. That's nice.
Yep, nope. I just wanted minimal, and then we'll eventually throw in a GPS. But once we get into IFR stuff, for now I'm going to be a little unconventional, and I'm going to go from private straight to a commercial.
I did that.
Which everyone tells me not to do, but apparently that'll be just fine.
Yeah, it's just fine. You know, you have some limitations to that, but you get your IFR after, and those are removed, so that's nice.
With all the investment that I've put into this, my wife would like to see when we're going to actually start getting paid, even if it's minimal money.
Well, if the Alaskan bush is kind of your goal, take a slight right here. It's that, you see that swamp? It's that little gray hangar right there.
I see a building straight out that way.
So
oh,
that
more
white,
to the right.
if that white building, look down. I'll let you know when you're over it.
All right.
My mic sucks on this. I'll let you know when you're over it.
Level out here.
There you go. No, if the Alaskan bush is your goal, you build those hours, but the only thing that really matters is Alaska time. Because nobody's going to hire you if you don't have Alaska time, but how do you get Alaska time? So a great place to start, you have got that, you got some float experience, that's great.
And I have a little mountain time by being in Colorado. It's kind of give me an introduction to mountain experience.
Tail wheel, you need your tail wheel.
I do have tail wheel time.
There you go.
So
gotta get that endorsement.
We're definitely going to try and get out. There's a place around here called Aeroflex. Damien is quite the name around here to do that with.
Okay, so take a...
I see it. We're going to bear to the right a little bit.
Nope, that's not it. We're about right over it. So if you take a 90, go straight south, it'll be on your left. So right about here, if you level out, it'll be right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There she is, the old Rhinebeck Aerodrome.
Yep. They told me
Where
that
dreams do come true.
Yes, absolutely. They told me the colors this year aren't as good as they normally are, but compared to Texas, I think they're pretty good. Everything's not dead instantly. It's kind of pretty to watch it die off. But you can see what we were talking about earlier, that it's kind of an interesting shaped little strip. So if you see where that tan line is, and then that's where the old road used to be. And right on the other side of that is where it starts to get kind of bumpy in the middle. So they always tell us to land, right now it'd be the right side the way we're looking at it, but they always tell us to land on the right side of the runway because that's where it's the smoothest. That's where I do most of the
that
flying.
fancy stuff? Boop,
yeah,
boop.
a little bit. It's real interesting here though, because if you notice we have two windsocks. We have that white one right there across from the gift shop, and then we have the other one on the little village there, and they always read differently.
Oh yeah, we got a nice direct cross one at the moment. Well, that is just a short hip, hop and a skip.
Yeah. It's good practice though. It really makes you, makes you focus.
100%. And you did 25 flights, I saw. Is that your record at the moment?
25 for a day. Yeah, I think so. That's my current record.
It's a lot of flying.
Yeah. A lot of taking off and landing.
X-crew all aboard.
Yeah. And we hot load too, so the engine never stops. So we're constantly, as you probably experienced when you came and took a ride, it's load in, load out.
How about for fuel?
For fuel,
you got enough.
I stop when I need fuel. Yeah. Yeah, if you carry full tanks, that weight is, and with the changing weights of passengers throughout the day, you want to make sure that, things get loaded properly.
So you're eyeballing your passengers, right? For weight, you're not really truly asking them,
my goodness.
hey, what are you weighing today there, ma'am?
Exactly. Well, it's always so embarrassing, especially when it's a gal, because, you don't want to sit there and show that you're assuming, but there's been times that, my crew will have, 3 250-pound guys, and on that particular day it might be too hot for it to really climb out great. So I'll look them up and down and shake my head, and, they usually know what that means.
You got to put the hidden scale underneath the mat where they pay.
I used to weigh them. When I worked down in Galveston, I used to weigh them, and if I had a problem with them, if I looked them up and down and I said no, and they're like, oh, we make weight. And it's like, okay, get on the scale.
Hop on the scale.
Yeah. Yep. Which I hate to do to them, especially the gals, but, you know, it's a safety thing. It's like we always say, well, do you want the wings to snap off? No? Okay, get on the scale, you know?
Yeah, all of a sudden, the never-before-flown people are like, what do you mean the wing's breaking off?
Yep.
Wow. These things will happen.
This is something I like to fly over every time I do a ride. This is the corn maze. Have you flown over these
cool.
yet?
No.
I take pictures. I always said, you know, if I ever go and do it, I got the cheat code right there.
We'll put that on the internet for everyone so they can win the corn maze quicker.
There you go. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but she performs like any other 150. We do have a STOL kit on it. When I throw my buddy in here who's a little more experienced than me, he can bring it down to about 30 miles an hour and drop it in very short areas.
Imagine.
I try to keep it to 2,000 feet for me to take off and landings and keep my passengers light.
Oh, you work up to it. You work
Passenger
up to
number 3 in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing that I learned flying out of here, I knew before, but it really got cemented in was, you know, short field takeoffs. And one of the things that I like to do when I'm taking off out of a short field, kind of like the one we just took off out of, is, you know, you're on your brakes, you're full power. As you let off, as soon as you rotate, get that nose down and get your speed up first. Because then you're all storing all of this energy and you can use that to really climb over that obstacle.
And pop. Just like pulling my flaps out as soon as I touch the ground.
Dumping all that lift.
Dump them flaps, get that weight on the tires.
Yep.
We're actually we're looking to do the Lowe's package on this.
Okay.
I have the Horton STOL kit, and then we'll turn it into a tail dragger, which, as I understand, it turns it into a baby 180.
So I ferried one of those. I ferried one. It was the I think it was the Texas tail dragger conversion. I think I also moved a low conversion, and I preferred the low conversion.
Everything I've heard, the low is a little more preferable.
Yes.
And it was reasonably priced, and it can turn this bird into a tail time building machine, which is the idea. I don't mind the low and slow. Everybody wants to go faster. I'm not in any rush to go anywhere. 100 miles an hour seems to be just fine for me. It's those days where we're doing this that I'm not interested too much in.
No kidding. Well, why don't you show me a landing? Let's see if you got the stuff.
Let's see if we got the stuff today here. Ulster County traffic says the 7804 Zulu is 1 mile to the east. We're going to be entering out downwind for runway 15, Ulster. Are you good on the heat? On your warm?
Oh, yeah. Nice and toasty. I'm like not used to having any kind of creature comforts at all, so this is wonderful.
Yes, I see you did do one flight in an open cockpit. Looked very chilly. Were you going to Canada?
Oh my goodness, don't even get me started. That was a wonderful flight and I had so much fun, but I did not pack well for that. I was freezing. I've never been more cold in my life.
Yes, one thing I learned about living in Texas, it appears that my blood thins out much quicker than I ever expected. After 2 months, I'm up here in 50 degrees is a little chilly.
It's pretty cold.
Ulster County traffic says the 7804 is turning base runway 15, Ulster. Doing that 747 pattern today.
Hey, it's not that bad though. I was gonna comment on that. There's not one point at which you've flown today that I felt like if you lost your engine you couldn't make the runway, which I think should be the goal. So I think you're doing great.
Well, I've already lost an engine and I had to jug through the cowling, so I'm usually high and fast.
Yep, I am too.
To avoid that problem. Couple gusts. A little quick. Lead some of that speed off.
Nice.
And crosswind elected. We survived.
We did. Good job. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Your crosswind's coming from the right, though. What are you doing with those ailerons?
Thank you, thank you. Well, 15 minutes ago was not.
That was very good.
Ulster County traffic says the 78040 is clear of the runway. We're taxiing to the fuel pump at Alpha. Thank you.
Jonathan, thank you so much. That was a blast. No, you did a great job. I was not uncomfortable once. That was a great time. Thank you so much.
There's a gentleman out there called, what is it, Midlife Pilot? So that's exactly what I feel like, the midlife pilot.
No, you did great.
Thank you.
So would you like some tips off the record?
Of course.
So when you're taking off, you're a little quick to your power acceleration.
Quick to...
You shove it in. Be sweet to it. Give it a second. When you give it that power, just gradually give it in. Because if you do get into the other stuff, into the the bush stuff, and you want to start getting into different types of airplanes, if you ever get into radials or that kind of thing, there's that. But also, I mean, I always think about it like I just want to be nice to my engine. So I just like to make things very gradual and easy. But that was just one thing I noticed that you don't have to take my advice. I don't mean shit, but it's just it's just a thought.
Oh, you do mean shit.
And
You're at the next stage that sometimes it takes a little bit to get to that stage, but my time will come, and so you're at that stage, you're doing
between
great.
that and also don't be afraid to slip it, too, if you do feel that high and fast stuff. A lot of people like to talk shit about slipping, but I mean, when you don't have flaps, you do, but when you're in an airplane, you don't have flaps and you're in a strip like this. We got high trees, it's a short strip, don't be afraid to go around, but sometimes if you do get into those situations like what I do at Rhinebeck, there might not be an opportunity to go around, because you might not have the performance that day, you might be heavy, you might have to get it in. Not that that's a mentality that you want to have, but if you have
kind of where I'm at Warwick.
Yeah.
Is if if I don't have a passenger, I'm definitely coming in sideways.
Yep.
But I like to fly overly conservative, especially if I have a passenger. It's pretty serious shit,
Yeah. Well, especially if it's somebody who's not exposed to it. That's a big responsibility.
And as the wife says, she wants me to come home every night. So.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, Jonathan, thank you so much. I had a blast today.
Me too. Thank you so much.
Freaking awesome. I really like how you fly. I know I commented on that, but there was never a point today that I felt like I was really uncomfortable at all. It was.
I'm not a daredevil. I'm just looking to get you down safely on the ground and have a good flight.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Welcome.
Well, best of luck to you. I hope I see you back in Texas. We'll take you up in the Champ anytime, and then best of luck to you in your commercial career. You say you want to end up in the Alaskan bush someday, and
I'm gonna be that old fart. Flying wherever in the Alaskan bush, hopefully, and anyone looking for an opportunity out there, I'll be happy to jump on it.
Absolutely, very cool.
Thank you, Emma.
Cool. Absolutely. Well, you guys give me an email if you want to throw Jonathan in something, and then other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Check out our Patreon like always, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.